We're working here with this late 70s Fender Twin, and I've discovered a very common problem with these amps, and I just thought I'd talk about it a little bit in case you should encounter this. When you loosen the chassis straps at the top of the cabinet, in most cases the chassis should slide right out of the cabinet. It's got to go in through this gap. There's a cleat here that holds on the back panel. Not a lot of room, but ordinarily that chassis, basically just lift it like that, it should come out. Now this one is not coming out, it is hooked in there. What causes that problem is, I'm just going to train my little clip-on light down there, and then I'll put the camera in there so you can see what's causing that problem. If you look here, it is the, first of all, in this case I've drained all the capacitors in this amplifier already, but if you're just opening up an amp for the first time, don't get your fingers down into the circuitry there, okay? So, you're okay grabbing the lip of the amp, the, Tolex part, but don't get your fingers in there, okay? So, what causes the problem I've been talking about is if you look down in there, you see that this aluminum shielding that shields the top of the chassis is warped. And so every time I try and have that chassis close enough to the top of the inside top of the cabinet through the gap, it's going to hook on there, and that hooks it in there and it won't come out. We have another spot down there, if I can just find it here. It's also hooking in the corner down there, and there's also some loose Tolex down in there that's causing some interference. Now there's a very simple trick to deal with this and get your chassis out. I got a couple of cheap plastic paint scrapers. The plastic ones are preferable because should they become displaced and touch anything in the circuitry, they're not going to do any damage. They also are non-conductive plastic, so there's no chance of contacting any voltage. I'm going to put one of them in there. I got the amp just hanging over the lip of the bench. Put one in there to create a little ramp. It's going to stop that aluminum from hooking on there, and because I got two spots, I got two of them, gonna put the other one in there like so. And let me just get my camera put back in place. Now watch what happens. I snug up the chassis, give it a pull, and it slides right out. So there's a real simple trick for getting a stubborn chassis out of any old Fender.